One crisp morning, a young monk named Ken approached Master Ryo with a heavy heart. Ken had been plagued by anxiety for many weeks, and it seemed as though his worries were spiraling out of control. He could no longer sleep peacefully, and his days were filled with restlessness and unease. Master Ryo, Ken began, I am burdened by the power of anxiety. It grips me tightly, and I cannot find peace. Please, teach me how to free myself from this torment. Master Ryo, with his usual gentle smile, beckoned Ken to sit beside him beneath a towering cherry blossom tree. The petals danced in the wind, their fragile beauty contrasting with the unwavering strength of the tree. Ken, the master said softly, I will share with you a story about the power of anxiety. Long ago, there lived a skilled archer named Koji. He was renowned for his accuracy and feared by his enemies. However, Koji had one weakness, crippling anxiety. Before every important competition or battle, anxiety would grip him, making his hands shake and his heart race. He feared that this anxiety would one day cost him his reputation and his life. One day, Koji decided to seek the wisdom of an old sage who lived in the mountains. The sage listened to Koji's tale of anxiety and said, My dear archer, I cannot take away your anxiety, but I can teach you how to transform it. The sage handed Koji a small piece of paper and instructed him to write down all his worries, fears, and anxieties on it. Koji did as he was told, listing all his concerns in intricate detail. When he was done, he handed the paper back to the sage. The sage then took the paper and folded it into a tiny origami crane. With great care, he placed the folded crane on Koji's outstretched palm. Koji, the sage said, this crane now carries the weight of your anxiety. Each time you feel anxious, release it into the wind, and let it carry your worries away. Koji nodded and left the sage's hut, clutching the origami crane. The next time anxiety gripped him, he followed the sage's advice. He released the paper crane into the wind, watching it soar high into the sky until it disappeared from sight. Over time, Koji continued this practice whenever anxiety struck. Each time he released his worries, he felt a little lighter, a little freer. Eventually, he found that his anxiety no longer held him captive. Instead, he had transformed it into a ritual of letting go. Ken listened intently to Master Ryo's story, his eyes fixed on the cherry blossoms swaying in the breeze. He felt a glimmer of hope and asked, Master, how can I transform my anxiety as Koji did? Master Ryo replied, Ken, the power of anxiety lies in our attachment to it. Like Koji, you must learn to release it, to let it go. Each time you feel anxious, acknowledge it, write it down if you must, and then imagine it as a paper crane. Release it into the wind of your mind, and let it fly away. With practice, you will find that the power of anxiety diminishes, and you regain your peace. With newfound determination, Ken began to practice the art of releasing his anxiety. Over time, he discovered that, like the paper crane, his worries could be set free, and he could find inner peace once more. And so, in the tranquil monastery high in the mountains, the wisdom of Master Ryo continued to spread, teaching all who sought his guidance the transformative power of anxiety and the art of letting go.